Welcome to SPK English Academy, a YouTube channel for learning English literature and English grammar. So, we also discuss the topics of English literature for preparing English NTA NET and KSET. In today's video, we will discuss the modern great dramatist Sir James Mathew Barrie, Somerset Maugham, Samuel Beckett, John James Osborne. So these are the great modern playwrights. So we have to look at their biography, their works in detail, one by one. So first we have to see Sir James Mathew Barrie. He was born in the small Scottish village town of Kirriemuir. He was educated at the Edinburgh University and came to literature by way of journalism. Both as a novelist and dramatist, Barrie was a dreamer of dreams. In fiction, he belongs to the sentimental tradition. Especially in fiction, James Barrie belongs to the sentimental tradition and heads what has been called the Caillard School. So he was the head of, he was the head of Caillard School. The school fiction is best represented by sentimental pictures of idealized Scottish rustic life in works. So now we have to look at the works of James Mathew Barrie. First we look at his novels. Old Lich Idylls, Window in Thrums, The Little Minister, Margaret Ogilvy, and next dramas. What are the dramas? Peter Pan, A Pure Fairy Tale, Dear Brutus, The Professor's Love Story, The Little Minister, and Alice Sit by the Fire, A Kiss for Cinderella, Mary Rose, and then The Admirable Crichton, which was published in 1902. It is his masterpiece. See, The Admirable Crichton, which was published in 1902, is the masterpiece or the important work of James Mathew Barrie. It deals with a basic problem, that of class barriers in British society. It presents in a critical spirit the weakness of English social hierarchy. Next one important drama of Mathew Barrie is What Every Man Knows. It is a full-length play which deals with a social problem. So, one act play is written by Barrie. The 12-pound look, Rosalind, the will, the old lady shows her medals. Shall we join the ladies? So these are the one act plays which were written by Mathew Barrie. So now we have to look at the Skylark School. We already discussed James Mathew Barrie. He was the head of the Skylark School. So who are the other members of Skylark School? And what was the purpose of the Skylark School? Now we have to look at this. See, Sir James Mathew Barrie heads the school with Sir S.R. Crockett, Ian McLaren. The school of fiction is best represented by such a sentimental pictures of idealized Scottish rustic life. Caillard means a cabbage patch usually attached to a cottage. Next, we have to discuss The playwright is Somerset Maugham. Somerset Maugham was an English playwright, novelist, and short story writer. He was among the most popular writers of his era and repeatedly the highest paid author during the 1039. See, this person, Somerset Maugham, was the highest paid author during 1039. Maugham's parents died before he was 10, and the orphan boy was raised by a paternal uncle who was emotionally cold. His first novel, Liza Lambeth, which was published in 1897, sold out so rapidly that Maugham gave up medicine to write full time. So, works of Somerset Maugham are his, now have to look at his novels. Of Human Bondage, it is the famous novel of Somerset Maugham. The Moon and Sixpence, Cake and Ale, The Razor Edge is also very important. The Magician, The Seven Sin, The Beachcomber, and next his plays are The Secret Flame, Sheppy, or His Plays. Now we are to discuss Samuel Beckett, the most important modern dramatist. See, Samuel Beckett was born in 1906 in Foxrock, Ireland. See, Samuel Beckett, he was also Irish dramatist. He was an Irish novelist, playwright, short story writer, theatre director, poet, and literary translator. See, multi-talented person, Samuel Beckett. He was the resident Paris for most of his life. He wrote in both French and English language. Beckett's idiosyncratic work offers a bleak, tragic, comic outlook on existence and experience, often coupled with black comedy, nonsense, and gallows humor. It became increasingly minimalistic in his later career, involving more aesthetic and linguistic experimentation. He is considered one of the most important key figures in what Martin Esslin called the theater of absurd. See, Samuel Beckett was the most important and dominant figure of theater of absurd, which called Martin Esslin. So Martin Esslin, he was the creator, originator of the phrase theater of absurd. This question was asked in the previous set question paper. So his best known work for theater or theater of absurd is Waiting for Godot, which was published in 1953. You have to remember this work. Waiting for Godot, published in 1953. It is good example for theater of absurd of Martin Esslin. Beckett was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1969. 1969, he was awarded the Nobel Prize. See, Martin Esslin called the theater of absurd. Waiting for Godot is a good example for theater absurd, and it was published in 1953. So Beckett was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1969. So these are very important point for you to remember in your mind. See, other works, Human Wishes, Eleutheria, and Waiting for Godot is most important drama of modern is. See, Act Without Words, End Game is also very important work. So especially End Game and Waiting for Godot. Who are preparing for NET and KSET exam, you read these two dramas separately in detail. Craft's last tape, Happy Days, Come and Go, Breath are very important works of Samuel Beckett. Now we have to study next modern dramatist, that is John James Osborne. See, Osborne was born in 1929, Fulham, London, United Kingdom. He was an English screenwriter and actor and known for his excoriating prose and intense critical stance towards established social and political norms. The success of his 1956 play, Look Back in Anger, transformed English theatre. In a productive life of more than 40 years, Osborne explored many themes and genres waiting for stage, film, and TV. His personal life was extravagant and iconoclastic. He was notorious for the ornate violence of his language, not only on behalf of the political causes he supported, but also against his own family, including his first writers to address Britain's purpose in the post imperial age. See, works of John Osborne, The Devil Inside Him, The Great Bear, Personal Enemy. See, Look Back in Anger. It was published in 1956. You have to read this drama in detail. The Entertainer. It is also very important work. Epitaph for George Dillon. The World of Paul Slickey. Or great works of John Osborne. So now I have to look at a little information about Look Back in Anger. The question may asked on this particular play. See, Look Back in Anger was written in 17 days in a deck chair on Morecumbe Pier, where Osborne was performing in a creaky rep show called Seagulls Over Sorrento. See, Look Back in Anger was largely autobiographical based on his time living and arguing with Famila Lane in cramped accommodation in Derby while she cuckolded him with a local dentist. So, this is about that modern drama part 3. So, in this video, we discussed Matthew Barrie, John Osborne, Samuel Beckett, and Somerset Maugham. So these are four are the great modern playwrights. So you have to study these poets in detail and remember their works. The question may asked on these four dramatists in the UGC net and KSET. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe now and share, like my videos, and also support me to do the next video. Thank you for watching my video. Keep watching.